Are you actively prioritizing a Sabbath every single week? Has your quiet time turned into sermon prep time? Maybe your prayer time defaulted to just asking God for the next message or for new opportunities. If we want to have an enduring ministry where we're leading other people towards intimacy with God, we have to lead by example. In this video, I'm going to share 3 very practical ideas to help you prioritize your Sabbath day as a pastor. Before we get into the video though, take a minute and hit the subscribe button below. Our goal is to help pastors grow healthy churches by guiding them through an experience that aligns vision, strategy, team, and action. We're here to help you get your church unstuck, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. If you're a pastor with a real desire to practice a real Sabbath day every week, here are some steps to consider. First, delegate. Do what only you can do. At the Unstuck Group, we encourage senior pastors to focus on 4 roles that they can't delegate, and then delegate as much as possible from there. The 4 roles are vision caster. You can't delegate the primary ownership of helping people buy into the vision. Spiritual leader and teacher. Spiritual leadership can't be delegated by the senior pastor. Instead, you have to delegate what gets in the way of great teaching. Being the leader of leaders. No matter the size of your church or your staff team, you cannot neglect your leadership role. And then culture champion. You can't leave culture up to chance, hoping that team members will get it and figure it out on their own. Delegating the things that don't serve these 4 primary roles will help you to clear up the time and space to practice a full Sabbath every week. Of course, it requires you to have a team of high capacity and high trust leaders that you can delegate things to, but that's probably a video for another day. The second practical idea is to create and enforce boundaries. Many pastors try to justify their insane pace of life and not embracing their own limits because they're doing it for Jesus. However, self-care is not selfish. It's actually good stewardship, and it's going to help you stay in ministry over the long haul. And as the leader of your church and staff, it's your responsibility to model a healthy work-life balance to your staff and to your congregation. Establish a Sabbath, and if you're married or you have kids, your role as a spouse and parent as priorities. Be aggressive with your schedule and make sure that you're getting the big rocks in your calendar first. On your Sabbath day and throughout the week, implement good practices and boundaries around unplugging and disconnecting from your phone. And finally, be intentional about communicating your unavailability during your Sabbath to your staff team. After all, the greatest gift that you can give those that you lead is your own healthy soul. And then third, plan ahead. If we fail to plan, we are planning to fail. In addition to planning the other 6 days of your week with the Sabbath in mind, it can also be helpful to have some guidelines around your Sabbath day. Consider this as just a practical example. First, for your Sabbath day, prepare. There is work involved in getting ready to not work. This goes back to your ability to delegate the non-essential tasks. Second, stop. What would it look like for you to stop for 24 hours? Third, rest. Not just physical rest, but being at rest in your soul. Fourth, delight. What are you doing that puts delight in your Sabbath day? And fifth, worship. There ought to be an unhurried time to just be with God and honor Him on your Sabbath. If you don't know where to start, take those 5 words and ask, what would it look like for me and my family to put those into practice for 1 day every single week? It's all too easy to get caught up in the busy pace of ministry and neglect our own spiritual health. However, we cannot lead from an empty cup, and the pace of life we lead sets the culture and tone for those under our care. With these 3 steps, we can work towards honoring the Sabbath day and keeping it holy. Thanks for tuning into today's video. If you found this video helpful and would like to see more like this in the future, make sure to hit the subscribe button below and visit us at theunstuckgroup.com.